Librarian, coming to you with the second episode and a very special one of Gaming Narratives. Because as you can see, I'm not the only one now on the camera. By magic, I have made it so that my wife, who has to put up with me all the time, coming through crystal clear as day, has agreed to join me for a Gaming Narratives episode where she is going to talk with me, as you can see in the background, playing about her first gaming moment and gaming narrative, and that is with Super Mario Kart. Originally came out for 1992 on the Super Nintendo, was groundbreaking for the time, so putting on the history hat here. So relatively groundbreaking. The idea that there was this sort of mock 3D plane created where you could have this character sort of pivoting around, and you got all dimensions. The track may look familiar, so a couple of years later, if I'm not mistaken, this would be the basis for F-Zero. So I have to check in the background, and I will correct myself if I'm wrong, but I do believe F-Zero may have come first and then it was Super Mario Kart, but they're both the same premise, with the idea of the character right center, and it's not the character that's pivoting as much as it is the map itself and the world that is on. But yeah, so we're gonna play some Super Mario Kart. This is running through the Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo Switch Online service, and hence why the little SP in the corner. They just released this last week, so it's an edition where all the tracks are unlocked and all the characters, so we don't have to go through that process. But in the meantime, I will let my wife introduce herself. So, who are you? Tell the audience.
Hi, I'm Andrea. I am Chris's wife. I haven't played a lot of video games in my life in comparison to Chris, but that's a high bar because video games are his thing. But I think this is going to be fun tonight.
And she says this, but when we're playing Mario Kart 8 on the Switch, she will kick my butt. And when I first met her, played coy and said that she wasn't good at the game until suddenly I was in second place and she was well ahead in first. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to take off the nice cap and play ball. So we'll get started with the game, and then as we're going along, I'll ask you a couple questions and dig deep. All right.
I find it delightful that I have like the old-timey
Yes.
controller.
So if you notice, I'm playing on the Pro controller, but Nintendo has released a very delightful replicas of the old Super Nintendo and NES controller. So as you can see,
it feels so little in my hands.
Right here, no cord, Nintendo official, and it has all the delightful buttons and the North American layout, so we don't have the rainbow colors as much as the dark purple and light purple. But I figured if we're going to play it correctly, might as well do it right. So let's hop in. I always like the clues in the background where it tells you to push B. We'll do a 2-player game. And we'll do GP, classic.
Totally.
All right.
I don't remember any of the buttons, so 50cc, please.
Oh, thank you for joining the chat, Fade. Yes, it's her first time in the live world. She was a little bit nervous and apprehensive about this, but it's a fun experience. Okay, so we'll do 50cc is just like an easy way in. Also, I suck at this game.
All right.
All right, who do you want to be?
Well, I'm always Toad.
Don't Faye, don't tell me to go easy on her. This is her game. I do believe lying dormant is the ability to kick my butt.
I hope
and
it's
so we're
still
about to
in my
find out.
brain.
I'll do Mario, and then you press the B button. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, let's do this.
Do we want to do Star Cup? This would give us our first Rainbow Road.
Sure.
Or we can start easy and we can do Mushroom Cup.
Well, it depends on how much you want me to fall off the side. Which one has Bowser's Castle in it?
I'm trying to... I don't know. I would imagine that would be the Star Cup.
Let's go Star Cup. Why not?
Go big or go home?
Yeah.
Like...
Oh, it's the one on the beach.
It's Yoshi's track.
I assume A is the go button still. Nope.
No, it's B.
It's B! Oh no! Ooh, this is bad. I forgot how,
Oh no,
how the steering
I ended up in
goes.
the water. Okay, and remember, right bumper, I do believe is to...
Oh, to hop. I'm already hopping.
Okay.
Alright, I'm getting the hang of it. There we go. Go away, Peach. Hop, Toad, hop. Gotta get me a box. They're not as common as they are nowadays.
No. Okay, how do I use an item?
I don't know. I don't have any items.
This reminds me so much of F-Zero. It's not even funny. Oh, that's how I use an item.
No!
So it's the A button.
Alright.
The one diagonally up from...
How did I get small? Grr!
Did you hit a small mushroom?
Apparently. God. I got squashed by Bowser.
Yeah, the
Ah!
I took the bullet for you and figured out that the orangey yellow mushrooms are actually shrinking mushrooms.
Oh, here we go. Okay, I feel like I'm starting to get
Okay.
the feel for it again.
We're not as rusty.
Just gotta get past him and come at least in third.
All right, third place. Nicely done.
If you hadn't shelled me.
Well, I had to figure out which one was
Yeah.
proper control.
Had
Yeah,
to.
I had to.
Mm-hmm.
So, while we're here, I'll ask you the first question. So, obviously, Super Mario Kart. There's been how many Mario Karts now? It's Super Nintendo, N64, GameCube, DS, 3DS, Switch, and I think
And the Wii.
and the Wii. Yeah. So almost every major Nintendo home console has had a Mario Kart, but why this one?
Well, when I was a kid, we didn't have like a video game console. My parents didn't want us to have one, and so like a couple times a year, as a big treat, usually for my little brother's birthday, we would rent a console.
Yeah.
From Blockbuster, because I'm old.
Wait, okay, so for the audience watching, what is a blockbuster? What is this foreign concept for our younger audience?
So Blockbuster was a video rental store. You would go and you would like browse the shelves of the VHS tapes and then DVDs when I got older.
So a brick and mortar Netflix, so to
Yes,
speak.
you physically went and you had to hope they had the video that you wanted, but starting in the 90s, they also started renting gaming consoles. And so you could rent a Nintendo and 2 games with it. And we would rent it for 24 hours and then it would have to go back. And so I only had a little time ever to play any game. But this was the first game that I actually got to play frequently because when I was 15, I had my first boyfriend.
Okay.
And his dad had a Nintendo. And so when he was at his dad's every second weekend, we would play Super Mario Kart together. And it was the first game that I actually got any good at because I could play it for more than, a day.
And hence your
Once a
ability
year.
to hold third place right now.
Yes.
In your first ever match in how many years? In this particular Mario Kart?
Like close to 30.
Okay, so a long enough time.
Or no, 25.
Okay.
25 years. Yeah.
Go with 25. And so, following up on that one, so Super Mario Kart, obviously we're here playing it today. But what were some of the runner-ups? So if it wasn't Super Mario Kart, what are other games that really stand out to you that are memorable?
So probably Battletoads, because at Blockbuster, all the good games would usually be gone, but Battletoads was always available. So when we did rent a Nintendo, we would get Battletoads, and I could get to the part with the stupid speeders, but I could never get past the speeders.
So this is a episode idea for down in the future. I'm definitely going to drag Andrea out to play Battletoads, and once everyone's vaccinated. What Andrea's family doesn't realize, or at least her siblings, is that I'm going to try to bring them all together so that we can have a family Battletoads session. Because I've had the privilege of playing that game like once or twice and put down the controller. You think Dark Souls is hard? Wait until you play Battletoads and you'll realize where they got that from. Yeah. Yeah, and definitely Fade with the shout out on Battle Royale. Yeah, no, it's I'm excited. This is why I want to put them all in the room, and I'm just gonna say, have fun. Everything's set up. The controllers are right there, and then I'll let that bloodbath happen as I close the door. Okay, so Battletoads.
And then I'd say probably the next one would be Breath of the Wild, which is funny because. It's really recent, but the first time I ever had a console that I bought myself was the Nintendo Switch. And the first game that I really got into was Breath of the Wild. I have put in way too many hours into that game.
So please, for the audience out there, elaborate on how many hours is too many hours?
I don't know exactly how many, but somewhere in the 150 range. So
when I first met her, and this is how I knew I had found the love of my life. And if it depends on if you believe in soulmates, but I definitely believe in game mates. And when I saw that she had 170 hours in Breath of the Wild, I was like, holy moly. But she also inspired me, thank you very much, to go back and actually finish the game. I got about halfway through, then grad school, and life got busy. But then after seeing her play file and how much she got, those aren't rookie numbers, Fade. I in comparison to other things, but when it's a single player game, 150 is pretty darn high. But
and by that point, I had finished every shrine and every side quest. And so there wasn't a lot left to do. I think what I liked about Breath of the Wild is there was always like one more sparkle to go get.
Oh, for sure.
Like there's a sparkle in the tree. It's I do need eggs. Or like there's a sparkle over there. What's that?
Yeah.
And you can like sneak around the bad guys because I'm terrible at fighting things, which is also why I like Mario Kart because you're not fighting anything.
It's true.
Yes, I can't fight things.
No, it's sword battles are tricky. So when Breath of the Wild 2 does come out, it is our sort of unwritten agreement that I will, take over all the hard sword fighty bits, and then when it gets to the puzzles that drive me nuts, I'll be like, Andrea, like, tell me how to do this puzzle, and we'll do it that way. So in the chat, Fade, what do you think your most played game is? So what do you have the non-rookie numbers, as you call them, in? And while I'm waiting for your response, we'll get started. We'll do another race, and then we'll explore some more of the questions.
Totally. I mean, we can talk and play at the same time.
I want to give you some competitive edge. But maybe during the next round, you can answer the following question. So what are your top 3 memories of this game?
That is a good question.
It's
okay,
yeah,
maybe
exactly.
I can't talk in game at the same time.
Not as easy as one might think.
Ooh, there's a lot of mud here. Well, I'd say like some of my top memories were just like hanging out with Phil and him showing me how to play. He was very nice about it because he was way better at video games than I am. And I just like the fact that you don't have to be good to still have fun with it, I think is one of the things that I remembered, because like most of my friends did have consoles, but some of my friends didn't, like my friend Kathy. And so it was something that, like, she could play too. And that's one of the things I really liked about it. Like, probably about half of my friends had game consoles, and I'd say, like, we would walk over to whoever's house we were going to go to and play there. And so, like, this is only 2-player, but even then you could still have a couple people playing at the same time.
Yeah, and the classic handing off the controller.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not mistaken, with Nintendo consoles, it wouldn't be until the N64 came out where you had a 4-player console.
Oh no, I'm going the wrong way. That's not good. I definitely remember going the wrong way on courses quite a lot.
So apparently when you're small, you can get squished. And Fade, I see your comment has followed. That would make sense. I think any Bethesda game you can sink hundreds upon hundreds of hours into. Though I had figured Destiny would be up there in terms of like most playtime for you. But we'll explore that when I have you on a future Gaming Narratives episode. Yeah, no, definitely. I can see how this would be a fun game to play with friends.
Yeah, all my friends had different consoles, so depending on what you wanted to play, you walked over to a different friend's house.
Yeah. I know, because you're speaking of the video game store rental, like that makes me think of my grandfather who would rent the Sega Genesis. So I don't know why the Sega Genesis over the Nintendo console, but that's how I got really good at Sonic and also Shinobi. Nowadays, I would suck at either one, but definitely I remember those fond memories. So I guess my next question would be, how do you think Super Mario Kart influenced your future gaming choices?
Well, I think I've owned every Mario Kart like that I've had a console for along the way. So that's definitely part of it. And I think it also made me much more of a Nintendo person. So, like, until you had all of the consoles in the house, I mostly only ever had Nintendo. Also, I think it's part of why my favorite Dance Dance Revolution game is also the Mario one. Because I have a soft spot for Mario.
So in a future episode, we're going to whip out that dance mat because...
I kick acid, DDR.
If you didn't know Andrea well before, she's the type of person that you want to take to an arcade and just put her on the DDR machine. I've never seen somebody so nimble on DDR.
Which is
before.
Funny because I'm not nimble in anything else.
You lie. You have nimble fingers for knitting. But definitely the nimbleness in your feet comes out for DDR. And so, I guess my question after this, but related to, so you played a lot of Super Mario Kart. Did you ever play any of the other Mario Karts? Like, what would have been the next one that you played?
The next one that I played a lot of probably would have been, was there one for the GameCube?
Yeah, so that would have been Double Dash.
No, I don't think I played that one.
Did
I just beat you?
You would, yes.
Cool.
My excuse, I was too busy asking questions and
I was answering
wasn't paying
them.
attention.
I love that I was so concentrating so hard I didn't realize you were behind me.
Yeah, but you mentioned classic and true to form with Mario Kart. I got stuck in the middle of the pack, and once you're stuck in the middle, good luck getting out. It's like a no man's land where you're just going to be squashed. And so checking in, okay, I can see why Destiny would be tricky Fade if it doesn't keep track of how much time you've played on it. I wonder if on their website, I know Bungie used to have one for Halo that you could check into, and it would tell you all your stats. But I wonder if they don't have anything like that for Destiny. So I guess the next Mario Kart that you would have played would have been
I guess on the
for the
Wii.
Wii. Yeah. And so, okay, the most important question of all: did you use the physical buttons or did you use motion controls?
I have finally trained myself out of steering as I play. But when I first started to play, when we would play with my friends, they would like accuse me of trying to like throw them off because I would be steering with my whole body. And so when the Wii came out with the motion control, it was like it was made for me.
It was a match made in heaven.
Yeah, no, literally, I would be concentrating on the game, and then I'd be like, "Whoa!"
So I asked this because I always love asking people what their first Mario Kart was, because you can tell a lot by the way they hold a controller and their first race in a while. Usually the Wii Mario Kart folks who the Wii was their first one, will often do, if they play with motion controls, they'll not only steer, but to sort of jump, they lift the controller. And I remember playing with some of my friends when Mario Kart 8 came out on the Switch, and they're doing this, and you're like, why aren't I jumping? And I'm like, that you're on the wrong console for that. They're like, but that's how it worked in the Wii. I'm like, you're on the Switch now. You have to press the buttons.
Yeah.
But it's that's really funny. You've never told me that story, that you used to do like whole body steering,
Yes.
even like on this one.
Oh yeah, no. When I
Yeah.
first started playing as a teenager, I would steer with my whole body, and then my friends would laugh at me.
Thankfully, she doesn't drive a vehicle that way. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we'll hop into our next race. All right. I'm not sure. There's usually 3 or 4
I
rounds,
think there's 4.
so we'll find out.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
that's
there we
Bowser's
go.
Castle.
So this is your most memorable one. Why do you like this one so much?
It's not so much that I like it, it's just that it's the one that I remember the most. And I think there's a fair amount of hopping that comes with
Yeah,
it.
you have to hop over these lava pits or your bacon, essentially.
And yeah, I'm not entirely sure why this is the one that sticks out in my brain, but I think it was one that I played more too. It's been a long time. Oh, I started that turn way too soon.
Ooh.
Oh, I have a green shell. I should use that. Hop you.
I have Peach Haunt on my tail on this one. Those swamps are unpredictable. It's funny because I think the first ever Bowser level I remember off the top of my head is actually it's the Mario Kart 8 one.
Yeah.
That stands out so much to me, and I think that particular one may have been in the DS version. I know that's where I really fell in love with the game. I had the chance to play it with friends before, and Double Dash was a big hit with at my friend Liam's house, but the 3DS version I just played nonstop. And amongst my group of friends who were always really good at Smash Brothers, or actually mostly Smash Brothers, I said, I'm going to get good at one Nintendo game that I can suggest we play. And when we play it, I'm going to be the one who kicks butt. And it's Mario Kart. That is the one that I'm really good at. Not to brag.
Yeah. Well, I'm dismally in last.
No.
It's not going well for me here. But, you know, it'll be fine. It's fine.
I have faith.
I don't.
This Peach ahead of me just keeps dropping eggs.
What do the eggs do? I forget
I have
eggs.
no idea. But they look like Yoshi eggs.
They do look
And
like
that's
Yoshi
what
eggs.
deeply confuses me. Oh, Thwomp, you were in the way.
Always. I took this corner wrong every time.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, so this one's a tricky one. So,
I think I remember it because I was so bad at it.
And audience, you can tell me how you feel about this. But like visually, it's very overwhelming.
It's mildly nauseating.
Yeah. Again, I think it has a lot to do with the fact that your character is center up here, and it's the game world that's pivoting around, and so your eye isn't quite sure what to do. So thankfully, this is only 4 rounds, and we'll only do the 4 rounds for this session before we have a hurl fest. But I'll ask you the last question. I always ask all my audience members on this one is why would you recommend this title to future players? So this is the first Mario Kart that ever came out. So why would you recommend this for people to play?
I think like the nostalgia of it, and most people know Mario Kart at least a little bit. Like if you say Mario Kart, people can conjure up an idea of what it is.
Yeah.
And so trying out the very first one is fun to do. And it feels so silly compared to like the really like new ones that have the 3D and all of the new stuff, and like 8 players now if you want. But it brings it back to that simple first Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just fun.
And it's a good throwback. You always remember your first in the series.
Yeah.
The most fondly. Yeah. I'm trying to think of the one. Actually, it's one I do my own gaming narrative, I think. I may do that special episode a few weeks from now. But Pokemon. I think that's one that stands out to me the most. I know they've made 1,000,001 improvements, and I begrudge having to play Pokemon Red and Blue because B button does not allow you to run. There's nothing fast until you're halfway through the game and get the bike, and even then that is painfully slow. But I still have a fondness of collecting all 151.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And so Fade, thank you. I see you found the total amount of play hours. So yes, 170 hours in Legend of Zelda compared to 801 in Destiny. I can see why you brought up rookie numbers when you gave that shout out. So,
but also you have to take into account I didn't have my own console that I bought until I was in my 30s. So.
And to be fair, Zelda's one game. Ask her how many hours she's put into Picross. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, the whole if you're a gamer, you have a life, you don't have a life. If gaming is what you enjoy, then it's a life. I
also have to share with the kids.
Yes, and kids. They are a bit of a deterrent when there's only one Switch in the house and you have to share that with them. But yeah, I'm not sure. I'd rather spend 801 hours playing Destiny or some of my favorite games rather than like sleeping, for example. You can sleep 2 hours and then just game the rest. Gain some of the advantage to it. So we'll do the last round. Sleep is second. Exactly.
Well, at one point, the kids put a sign on the door that said, you should turn it off and go to bed. So when the kids are telling you it's time to go to bed, you know that maybe it's time to put it up.
So when Breath of the Wild 2 and or Picross S7 comes out, I'm gonna remember that sign because I'm gonna hang that one up. Midnight releases or Castle Crashers, good shout outs. So for audience members watching this later on, Fade, who I'll have on next week for our Gaming Narratives episode where we talk about trophies and achievements that we did ridiculous things for and sought after. Keep in mind, we're going to bring up that Castle Crashers example because that is one heck of a story to tell right there. Okay, so we'll do the last match. or the last race. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Rainbow
It
Road
should be.
with no barriers, so there's going to be a lot of
A
falling
lot
off.
of falling off.
And then we'll be calling it for the evening. So thank you for those who have tuned in and followed along with this stream of Gaming Narratives. It's every Sunday at 7 p.m. If you want to join in, feel free to either message me through the Discord link at twitch.tv/ChrisTheGamingLibrarian. And right up top on that main page, you'll see the Discord channel. Click link on the link, join in, and say, hey, I want to do a Gaming Narratives episode with you. And we'll figure it out. Because I absolutely love this. I love learning what people's first experiences with games are, the games that they've enjoyed, and talking with them about it. Great. So, enough jibber jabber from me. My wife is like, let's race.
Come on.
Yeah.
Less talking, more driving.
Oh no, it's a throwback.
It is?
The final round. So
Wow.
this is
Well, where is Rainbow Road then? I'm slightly. What's that?
yeah, I was I built myself up for Rainbow Road.
It's this one.
So this is the Mushroom Kingdom one. I'm trying to remember what this one is. Mario Circuits? If I'm not mistaken. If that, I'm like, if that green shell comes back for me. And it would have if I had not slammed into the wall. This is the only issue with this kind of Mario Kart is when sharp corners come up, you don't know where it ends.
It's true.
And so
Until you have the course basically memorized.
Yeah, you're just at, oh my goodness. Well, if that didn't make me want to throw up, I don't know what did. What would? Oof,
Ooh,
those shells
ow.
are unforgiving. We got this. Oh goodness.
I'm hoobered. Eek. Ah. This is the big corner. There we go. Yep.
I wonder if Rainbow Road is a special unlock that you need to get.
Maybe. But I thought everything was unlocked in this.
That's what I thought too, and that's why I was super excited to play the SP version. Chris the Gaming Librarian should have done his research
Silly
ahead of
librarian.
time to figure out where we'd be hidden.
I started that corner just right, and then Bowser got me.
Oh, Peach, you need to get off my tail. I thought I had a star. I could have sworn that was a star.
I've got
No,
nothing.
come
I've
on.
got no coins. I've got no blocks. It's a bad time. And
You
I'm
got
a
this.
little
I
whiny
have faith
about
in
it.
you.
I feel like I did the best at the very beginning, and I've just gotten worse and worse.
Oh, there's 5 laps in this? Oh, goodness
Yeah,
gracious.
the first one had 5 laps too.
Did it?
Yeah. Oh, I'm not in last. Huzzah! It won't last. Yeah, no, back in last again.
And the problem is I can't butt cover. Butt cover is the term that we use in our house when we put an item behind us, whether that's a shell
Or a banana.
or a banana or a...
I hate that the
bomb.
3 bananas are not in a line now. With the newest Mario Kart. And they rotate around you. They're the worst butt cover.
That
They
they
used
really
to be
are.
the best.
Yeah, because if a shell's gonna hit me when I have the 3 bananas, it will. It will find a way in between the gap of one of those 3 bananas and just strike me. And then you go, what's the point of having the bananas? They're supposed to protect your
Focus.
butt. So, well, I thank
I
you.
wasn't last.
You weren't. So I thank you, Andrea, for joining me today. So this was a really special one. I was wondering how hard it would be to convince you to join me on this today. Oh, that's something that you wouldn't see. That little pixelated champagne beer bottle.
It's true.
Ooh, Nintendo, you were risky in 1992. That was the edge that you had on Sega. Nintendo did instead of Nintendo don't. Yeah.
Well, back in the 90s, they still smoked on TV. Too.
Yeah, drinking and smoking was everywhere. So, anyways, before we divulge down the trip of memory lane of unhealthy choices that restaurants and game companies made in their games, we'll close it off there. So, any final thoughts? Anything that you would like to add?
I don't think so. It was fun to play again. I haven't played this version of Mario Kart in a very long time.
Great. And so, does that mean we may see you on future episodes of Gaming Narratives?
Perhaps.
Oh, yeah. I will take that as 100% yes. All right. So, thank you, Fade, for tuning in directly live. And thank you to future viewers who watch this. I hope you enjoy what you saw today. And again, don't hesitate. Twitch.tv/Chris the Gaming Librarian. Videos are there. I also post on YouTube under Chris the Gaming Librarian. And again, feel free. Join the Discord page if you want to join in on an episode of Gaming Narratives. I do love the sound of my own voice, but I also love talking with other people even more. So every Sunday, 7 o'clock is Gaming Narratives. Throughout the week, on Mondays, I have new game review. On Wednesdays, I cover intro to gaming in libraries. And on Fridays, I just have a simple Let's Play where I sort of play the flavor of the week in terms of gaming or whatever new game I happen to get that day. And so, please feel free to stay tuned. Thank you, Fade, for the comments on the good episode. He thanks you for joining in on this one. And
it was my pleasure.
Awesome. And this has been Chris the Gaming Librarian with you, signing out for today. Have a great Sunday. Bye. And yes, Fade, before I go, she does know who you are. If you were unaware, Fade is my best friend, Ashton.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Because when you put me into Call of Duty, that was who was in with me, chuckling at how terrible I was.
It's true. Never hand the controller to Andrea to play Call of Duty.
I will die.
She'll make sure that you don't get booted for being away from keyboard, but don't expect your kill count to go up. That's for sure. So, okay, well, we'll end it there. Okay, have a great night, everyone.